So, what do you want to ask? Any questions for me?
Usually, I start with introducing yourself.
Introducing myself
Yeah,
about everything.
like your name.
My name.
What would you prefer to be called?
Um, prefer people calling me Rex.
Mm.
It's the most simple. It's the simplest way of calling my name in English. If you want to pronounce, if you even try to pronounce my name in pinyin, it's like trash. So please call me Rex. Making everyone's easy. Yeah.
And how long have you been here in Canada?
It's been a year and a half. Yeah. It already passed like 3 semesters, right? Yeah.
And do you like it so far?
Yeah. Pretty much like it. I don't compare with Taiwan though. It's kind of controversial, but I like Canada more than Taiwan.
Could you specify on which part?
I'd say I think people here know how to enjoy their life more. Like they have a lot of outdoor activities compared to those people in Taiwan. And majority of people here love enjoying sunsets, enjoying picnics, barbecuing in parks. At least the people around me in Taiwan. I feel they don't do it unless it's a festival. People in Taiwan need to do that specific thing in specific time point. The people do it every weekend here, and I like the relaxing life here.
Let's chip.
Yeah,
Do you have any culture shocks?
culture shocks.
Yeah, between the two places.
I feel like small talks are actually very surprising. At the beginning, I feel caught off guard when I was encountering small talks. But
You don't like.
I like it. I gradually like it. At the beginning, I was kind of, I don't know how to talk. I don't know how to start a conversation. I don't know how to continue a conversation. And I don't know how to make impression in front of people. But it requires training. It requires experience. As long as you talk as many people as you can, you will gradually grow your skill of small talk. And now I can talk to anybody on the streets and in the subway trains, like casually and confidently. For me, now it's doable right now.
Do you enjoy small talk or
I enjoy it. You need to understand it first and then enjoy it. That's a tricky point. If you don't understand it, if you feel it as a disturbance, you might not enjoy it and you might not understand it and in any way. But if you started to accept it and trying to understand why people are doing this, you will gradually like it.
So, how would you advise that are not good with
Good at
small talk?
small
How would
talks.
you advise that to improve it?
It's very hard. I think it's more about your personality. It's not about skills. It's not about experience. If you are not good at talking to strangers, start talking to your friends first and talk more. I think if you want to be better at small talking, I think you should start with your friends instead of like asking some really shitty questions. You should start with, "How are you? How are you doing? How's your weekend?" Yeah, something like that. Starting with something broad and it looks like the question is leading to something meaningless. However, is the beginning of small talks. You cannot dive into very specific questions when you first encounter somebody strange, somebody you don't know. You have to start from a very vague question, like where are you from? Where are you from originally? Like, like people in Canada are not always born here. Gestures while talking. I feel like the community here is more encouraging than those people in Taiwan. When you are going to do something that is completely based on your interests, that normally people think it's absurd, but people here actually they support you. They push you to do whatever you want, as long as it's not illegal. But in Taiwan, if you want to do something that sounds kind of ideal, sounds like something in sci-fi though, something like that, people discourage you. People try asking why you are doing this instead of how are you going to do and how will you achieve that. Just different, completely different approaches. Maybe there are some people who are lucky in Taiwan, though they have a very encouraging community with them. But I believe most of us are not lucky enough to have that environment.
What is your favorite thing here so far?
My favorite thing here, at least in Toronto, is the weather. It's cool, it's dry. I don't need to suffer from humidity and the heat. I don't have to do it. I don't need to escape from a building to another building to enjoy the air conditioning. I can enjoy the air outside instead of like rushing between buildings. When I was in Taipei, from 21 to 23, every time when the summer arrives, I had to rushing from one coffee shop to another coffee shop to escape the heat. Yeah, because I usually grow some rashes if the weather get too hot. So I don't like it. Another thing is the daylight. Of course, in winter, the daylight is very short, starting from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The daylight like usually very short. The sun comes out like around 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock. The sunset occurs in 9 or 10. Right? Yeah, I like the long daytime. I feel like I can utilize more time than ever. That's another point I like.
What is the best, your favorite place you've been to so far?
It might be Toronto Island.
Why?
It's very quiet and it's not crowded. When you're going to Toronto Island, I feel like I'm in a fairy tale. That means the buildings there looks like the prototype of the story background in fairy tales, like the house, decoration of the house, their trails, the riverbank. No, I think it's not riverbank. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. Yeah. There is a residential area on Toronto Island, and the community there is, for me, is the ideal place to live. If I don't consider the transportations from the island, it's beautiful and it's peaceful and quiet. You can enjoy the sunset there. It's the most beautiful place in Toronto, I would say.
Are there any places you've been
Outside
on?
Toronto, I've been to Niagara, Mississauga, Oakville. They are actually in GTA, but they are not Toronto. And like Oshawa, is a city on the east side of Toronto, and also to Ottawa, Quebec, Montreal. If you prefer a European landscape, European city, like Victorian buildings there, maybe Oakville and Montreal, Quebec is the best place to go. But if you want to enjoy the landscape, enjoying the natural stuff, I would say go to Niagara. Yeah, Niagara has a very beautiful fall there. So there are falls, a lot of falls.
Least favorite.
Least favorite thing, the soundproof of the rooms. No matter what you're living in, apartment, house, or condos, townhouse, they're almost the same. You can hear the people above you walking around and their sound of shower, cooking, or their washing machine is running. You can hear everything. Yeah, very noisy. And another thing is that for Taiwanese people, the rent here is incredibly high. Yeah, it's not equal to Taiwan's quality. It's even worse, I would say. And also some mad people, crazy people hanging around in the subway stations, on the subway trains. Some of the parks, there are tents, there are homeless people hanging around. I don't want to say they are dangerous, but we couldn't predict what will they do next. Yeah, that's the truth. Even if you are not looking for it, you can see homeless people everywhere here. They're helpless. International students like us are also helpless as well. Like we are all helpless, but we are exposing ourselves in danger. Yeah.
Is there anything interesting that you learned here?
In school, it's a big yes because I learn a lot from class, learn a lot from our instructors. I know the answer is kind of boring, but I learn a lot of how to build an app interface, playing around the user experience, figuring out the whole process of doing user experience research. Yeah, I enjoyed using the facilities provided by the school. I go for audio recording, 3D modeling. When it comes to something outside of school, I also learn a lot. First thing first, I joined a lot of volunteership. I participate in a lot of volunteer opportunities. going to different organizations and trying out different kind of tasks. That gives me a lot of opportunities to make new friends. That's the first plus. And the second one is I learned how to invest in Canada. I try to figure out how should I utilize the money in my bank account instead of putting there and lying there for a year. I try to gain profit from my savings. Yeah. And the third thing is I tried, but not actually successful. But I tried be a realtor. My first task is from my landlord. She wanted me um to advertise the basement for her and looking for potential tenants for her. Yeah, because she recently bought a house and she want to reduce the stress from the mortgage. Yeah. So that's the first task I've received for that. Yeah. I feel like it was the successful beginning because for me it's kind of easy to contacting people on Facebook Marketplace, contacting people from other platforms. I receive tons of calls from everywhere because the location is very close to a subway station. It's very convenient. Yeah. It doesn't mean that this career path is successful. Lendor doesn't have a lot of properties. She only has this one in Toronto. So I couldn't get more jobs from her in addition to this project. So my career stops there. I couldn't advance. I couldn't do it more. Yeah. For me, the thing I learned from this, I know when to stop, keep pushing myself, and when to stop. That's important. Yeah. Don't make it too long if you don't feel there is a future. Yeah.
Are there any future expectations you're looking forward to?
For short term, I'm looking for a job related to advertising, advertising for services or for products, so that I can utilize my skills. Advertising usually it needs communication skills, my designing skills, like graphic design or app design or something else like that. Yeah. It could fully utilize my skills I learned here. And for the long term, I want to start a business here. The income tax here in Canada is very heavy. If you are trying to earn money from a stable job and receive the same amount of money every month, you are paying a lot to the government. The only way to enlarge like, your income
Mm.
is to start a business and trying to buying stuff in the name of your company. Yeah. So that's my long-term plan to start a business here.
Yeah. Thank you for having a small
Yeah.
chat.
Kind of small chat.
All right. Is this part like each other hands? Go ahead. See you.